Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Caydo CE01 embroidery machine. We'll be unboxing it, seeing what's inside, setting it up from threading to hooping, and doing more advanced projects like shirts, hats, beanies, towels, and even border work. And lastly, we're going to compare the stitch quality against a 15 needle SWF industrial machine. So with all that being said, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is open up the box and see what's inside. You're going to get one operation guide. It's going to show you how to thread the machine, thread the bobbin, and work in the onboard system. 2 hoops, one 4x4 and one 4x9¼ inch. And having that larger size really does come in handy because it opens the door for so many more projects. One thread stand that can hold 3 spools of thread. And this is also going to allow you to work with bigger spools of thread, but we'll get more into that once we start testing the machine. One tool pack, it comes with extra parts of the machine, a USB, trimmers, a dethreader, and a few tools to work on the machine. 10 spools of thread in multiple different colors. It's definitely a great start to get you sewing right away. A pack of pre-wound bobbins in various colors. Another great thing to have on hand so you can quickly swap them out as you're sewing. One piece of stabilizer. It's nice to have this to get going right away, but I do recommend buying a bigger roll. One power cord, and mine came with a 3-prong. They might send out different ones to different countries, but if they don't, no need to worry because they also include an adapter that doubles as a surge protector. And lastly, you're going to get the machine. It comes in 2 parts. You're going to get the base and the main unit. But before you clip it together, you're going to want to remove all of the tape. It's really easy to set up. All you do is take the base and slide it directly into the main unit. Another nice thing is that this machine is guaranteed to work right out the box because it comes with a qualified certificate, and this means it was tested at the factory before it was sent out. And before we get sewing, I want to quickly go over a few key features that really stood out to me. Right off the bat, you're going to see the 7-inch touchscreen display. This is a big display for a machine like this. Not only is it big, it has a great response time, and it's also very easy to use the interfacing. Along with the easy to use interfacing, you're going to get a bigger format to stitch and also 650 RPM. That stands for revolutions per minute and is very fast for a single needle machine. And for a comparison, I have a 15 needle industrial machine and I never even run it up to 650 RPM. So all in all, it's a great speed to get a lot of projects done. But anyways, moving on, we're going to quickly set up the thread stand. It's really easy to do. Just plug the metal post into the connector, slide it into the back opening on the base, add the arm at the top with the thread loops, and lastly slide the spool holders into the 3 openings at the front of the base. And just like that, your thread stand is ready to go. We will use this later when we do multicolor projects, but for the moment we can place it off to the side. Now we're going to plug the machine in and set up our first design, so grab the power cord and plug it into the side of the machine. Even if you have the correct outlet, I do recommend using the adapter because it does have a surge protector. And after plugging it in, you can flip the switch on the side of the machine to turn it on. When you first turn it on, the embroidery arm will calibrate, and the screen will take you to the home tab or wherever you left off in your last project. Mine came out of the box pre-threaded, but I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to do it. We'll be threading it from the top of the machine with a smaller spool of thread. Start by sliding the spool into the thread stand and adding the cap. Feed the thread through the first metal hoop labeled 1, pull it back around the plastic arm labeled 2, down and around the thread guide labeled 3, back up and around the take-up lever labeled 4. Lastly, through the thread guide above the needle and then through the needle itself from the front to the back of the machine. With the upper thread ready, we can move on to the bobbin. Grab one of the pre-wound bobbins that came with the machine, pull out about 3 to 4 inches of thread, remove the bobbin cover with the release button, move the cover to the side and place the bobbin in the housing. Grab the thread and feed it through the guide on the plate. And at the end of the guide, there'll be a blade to trim the thread. Just like that, the bobbin is ready to go, so you can place the bobbin cover back on. Now that we have it threaded and ready to go, I'm going to walk you through the interfacing, and this machine does come with a stylus. Feel free to use it or not. The top left tab is going to be your home menu. It's going to have settings, firmware updates, and the USB option, which we'll get into later. The second tab from the left is going to be for the hoop size. You have the 2 options, 4x4 or 4x9¼ and it's very important you pick the correct size for the hoop you're using so it can calibrate the machine correctly. Moving on to the third tab, that's going to be where you set up your design. It will give you a green box based on the size hoop you're using. The column off to the right, you're going to see an artwork button, a fancy letter button, regular letter button, and then custom letter button. In the custom letter button, you can write out your text, change the font, and customize it to your liking. Jumping back to the artwork button, this machine does come with a bunch of preloaded designs that you can choose from, but you can also upload your own designs using a USB, and these will be located in the folder button at the top. I don't have any uploaded at the moment, but I'll show you how to do that in future steps. It also gives you the option to add more than one design. For example, you can go down to the border tab, pick from any of the borders that are preloaded, and you click the button below the border tab to switch it over from a border or a graphic. So for example, I'm going to add from one of the borders that are preset on the machine, then go up to the artwork tab and pick one of the designs. As you can see, the two designs overlap on the screen, but in the next step on the machine, you can change the size and make them work together. It's just a cool feature that you don't typically see a lot in embroidery machines. And that brings us to the fourth tab, which is our edit tab. In this tab, you're going to be able to edit the design and cycle between the artwork using the arrow at the bottom. When the arrow's clicked, it's going to isolate one of the designs, and whatever one's isolated, you can edit. This gives you the ability to work on them separately or together. With the border isolated, I click the scale button. Within this menu, I can make it smaller, larger, shorter, or wider. As you can see, I scaled up the border to make it larger than the design. You can also rotate your design by clicking the circle arrow. It gives you different increments so you can really fine tune it to work with your project. Next, you'll see a thread color button, and this really only applies if you're doing a multicolor design. Along the right, it's going to show you all the colors within the design, and then from there, you can actually change those to make them all one color, or just change the color on the machine. You can change it all to the same color, and the machine's going to read it as all one color. It really comes in handy if you have a design with a ton of colors, because you can consolidate all those colors and simplify the design. The next button on the menu is going to be the reflect button, and this is going to allow you to reflect the design back and forth. Alongside that, you're going to see the erase button. So if you don't like one of the designs, you can isolate that layer and quickly erase it without having to restart. The last two buttons, you're going to have a reset button and also a save button. If you just spend a lot of time editing the colors and the design, you can press the save button, and that's going to save all the changes you made to the machine. This new file will be in the third tab under the saved folder at the top of the column. So this folder not only houses your upload designs, but also your saved designs. Now that we went through all the menus, we're going to upload our own design using a USB. So plug the USB into the side of the machine, click the home button, and then the USB icon. This will open up the drive and show you the files, and you're going to want to use a DST format. Click one or all of the designs and then press OK. You'll be prompted with a message and just press OK again. The file is now saved to the machine, so we can exit out, go to the third tab, and click the folder. If done correctly, you'll see your design. You can click the design and begin to work on it. Most of the time, your design will show up horizontally, so all you have to do is go to the fourth tab and rotate it to fit the hoop. Once you're satisfied with the changes, click the top right button that says EMB. And this is your embroidery tab, so it has the RPM to change the speed. You also have a plus or minus stitch, and this is going to be used to add or subtract stitches. For example, if you're working on a project and you don't need a certain part in that image, you can add or subtract stitches to get to the point you want it to start at. You can also cycle through the colors and be more precise. There is one more button, it's the box arrow, but we want to load our screen first before we click that button. And that's what we're going to do next. We're going to load the screen and test out the machine. The first thing you want to do is pick the hoop that works best with your design. I'm going to be going with 4 by 9 1/4. Each hoop has a top and a bottom and an inner and outer ring. The outer ring is going to be the bigger ring on the outside with the attachment, and the inner ring is going to be in the center. And for the moment, we can pop it out and place it off to the side. Next, you want to pick a stabilizer, and there's a lot of different ones you can choose from. I'm using a medium weight tearaway. This means after you get done stitching, you can rip it off the back. There's also cutaway and dissolvable stabilizers. There's a ton of different options out there for different projects. I typically use this tearaway and it's a medium weight. Since I'm using the bigger hoop, I'm going to cut my piece of stabilizer bigger than the hoop. As you can see, it's open on the sides, but that's totally fine because you just need it to go across one of the axes. You also want the piece of stabilizer to be bigger than your design. So now that we have the stabilizer laying on top of the outer ring, we're going to grab our test piece of fabric. If this is your first time using an embroidery machine, I definitely recommend using a test piece of fabric before moving to a garment. Place your piece of fabric on top of the stabilizer, covering the outer ring. And the same goes for the fabric. You want it to be at least touching 2 of the outer ring sides. From here, we can grab the inner ring and push it down in the center of the outer ring. It should clip right down into place, but if you're using a thicker fabric, then you can flip it around to the back side of the hoop, and you can loosen or tighten the outer ring using the screw on the side. The fabric I'm using is a little bit thicker, so I'm going to loosen it up. Flip it back around to the top, push the inner ring in so it clips into place. If done correctly, your fabric should be fairly taut. And a quick side note, you don't want that inner ring to be super tight because that's going to give you ring burn on your fabric. So if you're having a really hard time trying to fit the inner ring in, you want to loosen it up more. But other than that, our hoop is ready, so we can take it over to the machine. Locate the bracket at the top of the outer ring, slide the hoop under the presser foot, and line the bracket up with the bracket on the embroidery arm. Secure it into place by pushing it down in the grooves. Before starting the stitch, you always want to make sure to trace the area. This is going to be the square arrow box located in the embroidery tab. Click the box and it's going to do an outline of your image. It's going to be the outermost points of the entire design. If it looks lined up, you can press the start button. This trace feature is going to be more handy once we start actually embroidering on hats and different items, because it's going to give you the outline of the design so you can reference that against your clothes to make sure it's lined up correctly. This piece of fabric didn't really need alignment, so you'll see it better once we load a shirt. After pressing the start button on the screen, you're going to see a stitch counter. It will show you what stitch you're on out of how many stitches your design has. To the side of that, you'll see a percentage. That's how much of the design is complete. And it's also going to show the progress on the logo itself. While we have a design going, I want to quickly show you the plus and minus stitching. If you click plus or minus, it's going to show it on the design and kick it back or forward. And wherever you leave it, that's going to be where the next stitch will start. This feature is very useful if the thread comes out and it keeps stitching a little bit. You can back the stitch up and restart from where it left off. Another cool thing is while it's stitching, you can also change the speed. When the stitch is complete, the machine will make a noise and give you a complete message. Locate the lever in between the bracket on the embroidery arm, pull it back, and slide the hoop out. With the design done, there's only a few more steps to finishing it off. Pop out the inner ring, place it off to the side along with the outer ring. As you can see, the hoop left a mark on the fabric. This is because I had my hoop a little bit tight. It wasn't tight enough to leave hoop burn, but it's really something you have to look out for when you're working with actual garments. Since I'm using tearaway stabilizer, I'm going to flip it around to the back and rip off the stabilizer. And you don't just want to rip it off vigorously, you want to put your pressure on the actual embroidered area and tear around the image. Be gentle if you're working with a lighter weight fabric. Now you can take the time to take out all the stabilizer within the image, but I'm just going to leave it there because it will fall out over time. Flip your fabric back around to the front side, and this is a step that's a little bit more tedious, but it's also based on what type of image you're using. Mine had a jump stitch, so each one of those jump stitch, there's a thread in between, and you have to trim each thread. Some images you're not going to get this, but after trimming, it's complete. Overall, this machine did a really nice job. The lines are clean, the stitching is nice and tight, the line work is good. Now after doing your test run, you can load up your garments and begin your projects. Next, I want to show you how to set up a multicolor design. I'm going to pick one from the inventory on the machine. I picked the dolphins. It's a 2-color design. I'm going to leave all the settings as they are. And this is where our thread stand comes in handy. We're going to place it to the side of the sewing machine. I'll be using my own thread for one of the colors. It's a bigger spool. And I mainly just want to show you that this stand gives you the ability to use bigger spools along with the smaller spools. Once you have your first color threaded, we're going to attach the hoop and press start. The machine is going to do the colors in order, so along the column you'll see 1 and 2. It's going to start with 1. When it finishes with the first color, the machine will stop and tell you to switch the thread. At this point, you can grab your second color and thread it through your machine. Once you have it threaded, all you need to do is press start. And that's really how simple it is to do multicolors with this machine. If you had more colors within the design, you just keep repeating that step with the other colors. The finishing process is also going to be the same. Remove both the inner and outer rings, tear off or cut away the stabilizer, and lastly trim any threads in between the shapes. For the final test, we're going to be comparing the Caydo against a 15 needle SWF. The SWF is an industrial machine. It's great for small businesses. This is an older one, but at one time it was top of the line. I have used many new ones. The quality always stays about the same. The only thing that changes is the interface. So what we're going to do is stitch the same logo on the same fabric with both of the machines and see which one looks best. On the left, we're going to have the Caydo, and on the right, we're going to have the SWF. And when it comes down to it, I'm not really seeing that much of a difference between the two machines. Even on the smaller text and lines, it's looking almost exactly the same. So based on what I'm seeing, the quality of the Caydo is performing at an industrial level. So if you don't have room for an industrial in your space, the Caydo is a great option to go with. It's going to give you good quality, and it's also very user friendly. So if you're not familiar with embroidery, you can pick it up and start sewing same day. I also ran the machine through a few more tests just so you can get an idea of what to expect using different garments. The first test was on a thicker sweatshirt. Now I didn't line the image up perfectly, but overall the stitch quality turned out great. The second test was in embroidering a hat. In order to embroider a hat, you do need a separate attachment that you attach to the frame. It only costs about $11 and it clips to the 4x4 frame. And I will do a separate video on the step-by-step process of how to do this. Most machines this frame doesn't work with, and it's really nice that it works with the Caydo. Not only does it work, but the quality turns out great, and you can also stitch the sides and the back. In my experience, caps can be a little bit tricky to embroider, but using this machine, it really was easy. The third test was on a standard beanie. I used the 4x4 hoop. I set the logo up vertically, and the machine had no issue stitching through the beanie material. And using the 4x4 hoop, you can literally stitch any surface area on the beanie. The fourth test was stitching a hand towel. Sometimes these can be a little bit tricky because it's a thicker fabric, but again, the machine had no issues. It went through the entire image without any problems, and the stitches look great. For the final test, I stepped it up a notch, and I did border work along the bottom of a skirt and a top. This type of work takes a lot of calibration because you have to line those images up with the last image. Typically, it's very tricky to do when you're working with a single needle machine because you don't have a lot of surface area to work with. But since this machine is so user-friendly, it makes it really easy to move that image around within the interface, making it a breeze lining up each image. And I use checkers, which are very hard to line up. So in the end, whether you're a beginner or advanced, this machine could still fit into your shop. It has a wide range of uses, whether you're buying it to start a business or personal use. And in the end, you really can't find this stitch quality at this price point. Every other machine I tried that was below this price point did not perform at all. But the Caydo stitch quality is on par with an industrial machine. I will be making more videos with this machine when it comes to hooping different garments like hats. But if there's something with this machine you would like me to test, definitely comment down below and I'll try to make it happen. And for my final thoughts, this is an all-around great machine. Great price point, compact, user-friendly, and the stitch quality rivals that of an industrial machine. So all in all, you really can't beat it for what's out there on the market. A lot of the machines that are in this category are not as user-friendly. I've tried them out before. There's definitely a larger learning curve, but with this one, you can really jump right in even if you know nothing about sewing. The interface is great and all the commands really walk you through step by step on the setup. So you can pretty much jump right into embroidering within 15 minutes. But like always, let me know what you think, and if there's any other embroidery projects you want to see me do, definitely let me know. And with all that being said, I'm going to keep the videos coming at you, so I'll see you next time.